Okay, thought I'd give a property update. This is Easter 2017. We have signed a purchase agreement to buy a log home construction package from Country Mark Log Homes. Country Mark Log Homes is out of Vevey, Indiana. We've visited them and we've worked with them to finalize a plan for our cabin. It is a hybrid log home, which means it is a conventional build, but it has log siding inside and out, and it will have a timber frame roof system. So the timber frame roof system will have exposed beams, that are internal to the house, that supports the roof itself. We are also going through the construction loan process. We've been pre-approved for construction loan, and basically we're to the point of having our plans appraised to see what it will be worth on this property. So we are just following the steps. So I will have a video probably going over our house plans, and in the future on the channel you're going to see a lot to do with the construction of our new home. Right now we are in the process of getting basically a budget together. We are getting estimates from builders to build our, basically it's a dry-in package from Country Mark to build the home, and we're getting estimate from a plumber and estimate from concrete companies for pouring a basement. So we're just going through all the motions. It is very much a pain in the butt trying to get contractors to call you back and communicate with you. So we're just trying to get this rolling. So hopefully soon first thing we'll be doing is, once we kind of get our road out here, we can probably start with pouring our basement. So hoping that these are all things that will come within the next couple months. We're just going to have to wait and see. I'm sure this building process will take longer than we anticipate. We made an attempt to run our water line out to the build site with no luck. It was very muddy that day, and we only made it about 20 feet. Decided we needed to wait till it was drier. So the weather has been very much a problem on being able to get stuff done around here, and we got more rain coming here in a little bit, and it's going to have about a week's worth of no rain before I can probably run this water line. Along the front of the property here, we planted 8 pine trees. We're hoping these pine trees will grow up into somewhat of a privacy screen to help hide the property from the road. Here's the blueberries that we had planted. The blueberries we took from home, they're all flowered out right now. There's some strawberries that was in the dirt that we used for this, and some of them stayed alive, so there's some strawberries in here. But this blueberry plant right here really has yet to do anything. This is a Patriot blueberry, and there's a blueberry plant back there that hasn't done anything yet. So kind of disappointed so far with those. But this blueberry plant over here, it's all leafed out. So that's got me wondering if I'm gonna have any growth from these 2 blueberry plants. So if I don't, I may have to end up calling Stark Brothers up and see if they have any type of refund or anything for that. Now this is the red raspberry patch. You can see that this one actually has some growing out of the ground. Must be coming off of its roots instead of this little stem. And I've got 1 out of the 6 stems that this one right here has not had any growth, but all of the others do. So that ain't too bad. 5 out of 6 ain't bad. So I'm happy with that. Happier than the blueberries. So these are the blackberries that we transplanted. Now, there was a couple big root balls and there's a lot of smaller pieces, but like this branch here, it has leaves on it. This branch has leaves on it. There's very few that actually have leaves on it. So there's 3 or 4 on this side that have leaves, and there's at least 1 or 2 on this side that have leaves. So I don't know if very many actually survived being transplanted and planted. So we'll just have to wait and see if any more of them get any growth. Most of them have pretty much, what growth they had has kind of died off. So they're pretty prolific once they start going. So as long as I have some of them live, I think that they'll all come back fairly well. But right now it looks like only about maybe 15 to 20% may have survived the transplant. So here is the strawberry patch. These are the June bearing. They are, both varieties are looking very good. The ones on that end are already starting to bloom. And here is our everbearing. And there's blooms on most of these. So there's probably blooms on about half of these plants here. So far so good with the strawberries. I might have to get in here and just weed a little bit. I can see a few stray weeds starting to come up, but so far the strawberry beds are looking good. Still plan on trying to make some kind of like a wire mesh hinged lid to try to keep the animals from getting the strawberries. Because out here there's so much wildlife that they can wreak havoc on all our plants. Well, the orchard is all leafed out now. All the plants got leaves on them. Most actually have bloomed already. There's a few blooms left on that one. There's actually a few blooms left on this peach. I do see a few blooms over there on that apple tree. But most of the plants have already had their blooms and have already gone away already. So if that's anything to judge that by, I'm not for sure, but we ought to have some fruit this year, I hope. Now the plums, they bloomed really early, and I think we even got a frost afterwards. So I'm not for sure if we'll end up getting a lot of fruit from the plums. We'll just have to wait and see. They did have quite a bit of blooms, but it did get cold again. I found a few of these little craters here in the pond. Not too many, just a few. This is what the bluegill do when they spawn. They make these little craters to lay their eggs in. So normally when they're in full spawn, you will see these all around the shore. There will be lots of them. And this old area right here, you can't really tell, but this used to be a beach. So there's a lot of sand underneath there, so they really like to spawn in this location. So after the spawn, we are planning to harvest our fish for the first time. We have yet to eat a fish out of this pond. We have been catching bluegill that are filletable size. They have gotten that big already. So after the spring spawn of the fish, we will probably start harvesting the fish out of the pond and finally have our first meal. So what videos do we have coming in the future? Well, we're going to have a whole video series just on building our new log cabin. So it will be the thing that probably takes up most of our time, is being able to get our home built out here, and hopefully moving out here sometime. We hope to move out here by the end of the year. That may not happen. We're going to have some gardening videos coming up as we progress and get our garden established. We have a bunch of videos probably. Maybe I'm planting trees. I am trying to grow my own trees from seed. And what other goals do we have that we need to make videos on? Animals. haven't got anywhere with animals right now. We may or may not get another animal. My wife's really pushing rabbits. She really wants to get a rabbit, so we may end up starting to raise rabbits. Still looking at possibly meat chickens, but we don't really want to take on too much now that we know we are building a house this year, so that's going to be a big endeavor. And then the animals really need to come after we're living here.